Jerusalem. Chaos, anger, and disbelief. That's what unfolded inside Israeli parliament when their Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, stood up to deliver what he called a victory speech on Gaza. It was supposed to be a moment of triumph, basically a declaration of success after months of war, bloodshed, and international outrage. But what happened instead? It was humiliation. Because before Netanyahu could even finish his first paragraph, the boos began. Lawmakers shouting, papers flying, chairs scrapping, as if it was a pandemonium in the Israeli parliament. Though Netanyahu tried to keep his composure, he spoke about defeating Hamas, about ensuring Israel's security, and about building a new Gaza. But his words were drowned out by heckles from across the room, even from within his own coalition. Opposition lawmakers, they stood up and shouted, "Where is the accountability?" Others demanded an independent inquiry into how Hamas managed to breach Israeli defenses on October 7th, the day that changed everything. And then came the breaking point, as Netanyahu raised his hand and declared that Hamas has been hammered. Several lawmakers from Yesh Atid, including others too, they erupted in protest. They accused Netanyahu of turning a national tragedy into a political theater. Security rushed in, members were dragged out, and the parliament, Israel's symbol of democracy, looked more like a battlefield. The timing made the drama even sharper. Just days earlier, if you remember, Israel and Hamas had agreed a fragile ceasefire under the Trump peace framework. The deal that included prisoner swap, humanitarian aid to Gaza, and the United States oversight on reconstruction. Now, for Netanyahu, this was supposed to be a moment to claim victory, to tell Israelis that the war had achieved its goal. But many Israelis here, they aren't buying it. They want answers and not slogans. They want to know why the October 7th massacre happened, why intelligence failed, and why the war dragged on for so long with so much suffering. And that's why the speech, instead of uniting the entire nation, exposed just how deeply divided Israel has become. Inside the parliament, the shouting echoed, and that for minutes. Outside, protesters gathered, waving flags, holding signs, demanding Netanyahu's resignation. They said his so-called victory is a political illusion and not a military reality. Netanyahu ended his speech with defiance. He said Israel will never let Hamas rebuild, never give up control of Gaza's borders, and never allow international forces to dictate its security. But as he spoke, lawmakers were leaving their seats because for many in Israel tonight, the question is no longer whether Hamas was defeated, it's whether Netanyahu can still lead.